mentoring by seniors, putting the ladies into the, let's say, leadership pipelines?
Thank you. I think a question like this really requires, I mean, there are multiple facets to a woman having that flexibility and structure. I think first and foremost, I think personally, goal setting. I think a woman needs to think, or a female professional needs to think about her personal goals and her personal life aspirations, and then her professional aspirations, and how those two interplay. Personally, I don't have the issue of, or I shouldn't say issue, but I'm not a married or mother, so I don't have at this current stage the potential, I'd say, roadblocks that some mothers might face. I think beyond the corporate place, I'd say first of all there has to be the legal structure in the country. I think you'd have to look at, for example, the laws such as maternity leave, part-time facility. I think those aspects in our country, in Qatar at least, still need to be developed. I think the notion of part-time jobs still hasn't quite reached it here in Qatar here. And then maternity leave also is not at this age. I think that women who are now considering more of having a more intensive role in the workforce don't have the supports, I think, from a maternity leave structure. And I think there are two segments to that also. It's because I think this is where modernity and traditionalism clash to some extent, and that's because typically women from our culture would have many children and have large families, and so if we were to have a lot of support, that also would entail women being out of the workforce for a long time. So there is that, I think, that element that many employers need to think of. Now, if we take ExxonMobil as an example, we do have flexible hours. I think, as I mentioned, I touched upon earlier, empowering women is at the top priority of management at all levels throughout the whole corporation globally. And you can see that in our HR policy, whereby there are flexible hours. I mean, nobody actually sits and monitors what time you come in and clock out, as long as you're getting the job, you have the face time, you're able to interact with the business lines. You also have, I mean, in addition to that, you also have the capability of working remotely. So in a situation where you're not able to actually come into the office, you can always, if something, deadline has to be met, you can always work out of the office. In addition to that, we also have a women's initiative. So we have in Qatar something called Imra'a, which obviously in Arabic stands for woman, but also stands for ExxonMobil Reaching, Aspiring and Advancing. And that's a women's professional network that we have internally in the corporation, and that is for women such as myself and all the other professional young ladies we have in the company, whereby they support them in developing and addressing certain issues that we may have. For example, the work-life balance, health, how mothers may need to deal and reach out to one another, and this is supported by the male management we have in the company. This is definitely stewarded by the upper management, who might tend to be more male than we have women at the management level, but you have that support. We have the full support from them all to take time off work, or rather should I say from the office environment, to attend these kinds of sessions and engage and reach out to each other, and see who are the role models out in the community as well as within the corporation.
Thank you very much. Speaking about the famous cut in career when leaving for maternity, Dr. Ludi, are there any specific strategies to re-enter or to help the re-entry process of a mother who has had this maternity leave?
In my experience, I stayed-home mother for a couple of years when my daughter, when she was born, and the decision was made between my husband and myself. We discussed the pros and cons. When it came the time for the re-entry in the workforce, I prepared myself during the couple of years staying at home mother, as I work as a volunteer in different groups in the community. I was very involved with my community. Inclusively, I was finishing then, I was starting then, my doctorate degree, and then as well, I was involved in a lot of boards and local commissions of the state of Virginia in United States. So those prepare me for me to be able to re-enter the workforce, because that helped me gain experience, volunteerism, so I can still continue building my resume, which was very critical. along the way, what I did also, together with my husband, we discussed about the time, how much time do I going to use for reentering the workforce? Was it going to be a part-time? Was it going to be a full-time job? Will I need to be traveling? So we discussed about those different possibilities and how much he was going to help me, you know, who's going to pick up the child, what is the child care, family members, who they're going to be helping us. So that's another step. And the other step that it was very critical for me was finding the perfect company, a company who was giving me the flexibility, just in case if my daughter will get sick, a company that will give me the possibility of telecommuting, a company that can have policies related to family leave in regards to when, you know, when the family, somebody, the member of the family, like my husband, could get sick and I don't have the assistance for him, when my daughter, you know, who can stay at home with her. And then as well, I critically, for me, found a mentor. And to mentor is the person who basically changed my life. And my mentor was another lady, a woman, who has gone through the same situation, who has walked me through the process and explained to me how she went through and where she was going to go to. And what do I needed to do myself to be strong and go through this process, because it was going to be challenging. It was not going to be easy, because going from staying in the house for several years with my daughter and then making all my, you know, my responsibilities at work, making it work as well with my husband, and all the different things was going to take time for myself. So this lady became very critical in my life. Still, she is a mentor in my life. And successfully right now, she is part of my board of directors of one of my organizations. And it's a well-known woman who you may know, Ariana Huffington. She has a Huffington Post, and is somebody that I want to recognize for how much she did for me. And I think that women helping women, having them behind you and be there for you, I think it will transform your life.
Very true. Thank you so much. I think Marta, having 5 children, if I may say so, yes. You raised the average of the European ladies, having just 1 child, perhaps.
I'm glad that you you mentioned Ariana Huffington, because I was going to quote her now in this sense. Because nowadays, as the working place, as it is now, I think that the only way to successfully have a family and a career is to have the control of your own schedule, your own agenda. If not, it's very, very difficult. Ariana, that is, I agree with you, a very good role model, was talking lately about the shift of the business model. I think that we need to change the business model, because she was mentioning 3 revolutions in relation with the women. The first one, the vote. The second one, equality of rights. That is, at least in paper, implemented in many of the world. And the third one is to change the world, to change the marketplace, because it has been built by men for men. No offense there, gentlemen, because we were not there. It's exactly that. What happened? That perhaps nowadays we are sending the wrong message to the young generations, saying, girls, you can have it all. As it is the world now, this is a very tricky message, because they have seen their mothers burned trying to be superwoman. The structure is very unfriendly for us. And what happens there? We try, like we did in the 90s, to behave like men. Do you remember those Armani suits we used to buy at that time, all in gray? I always liked them very much, and I even wore a tie for some time. But the thing is, we should avoid this error, I think, because we have lived it, and we know that it doesn't work, because we need to twist our nature as women to fit into this model that is not made for us. It is wrong. We had to do very strange things. For example, I was in the middle of a very important foreign investment in my company. I was a general counsel. I was in the hospital giving birth to my first daughter, and I was attending a board of directors meeting from the hospital. My colleague lawyers were like, still remember that, but you can believe it. I was in the middle of the project, and I have to recognize that I wouldn't have liked to be left away of that. It was my project. I had to be there. So my message here is, why don't we try to think a different way of doing things? Now I think is the moment. We in Spain, we try to imitate the Anglo-Saxon model. We were very macho civilization, society. We try to imitate that. It doesn't work because you get frustrated trying to reach everything because we have long working hours. We have this culture of being in the office. I mean, I have been fighting for rational agendas, rational hours for working in an association in my country, and I have had this very high executive of a big company saying, Marta, what do you want me to do in my house at 5? I mean, they are used to live in the office. They won't support this different organization if we do not change that for our next generations. So I think it's a time to change this paradigm, to change this business model.
Very important. Thank you so much. Karen, coming from down under and speaking about the private sector there, who's very booming and 24 hours job sometimes. Again, are there any facilities, any structures to help women to tackle both and to re-entry?
Yeah, look, I think I want to come at this from 2 points of view. So technically in Australia we have 3 types of employment: full-time, part-time, or what we call casual or flexible. So you get paid a little bit more per hour, but there's no job security. So we obviously have that, and a lot of women returning to the workforce probably go for a casual or a part-time type role. In speaking with a lot of my friends who are mothers, the trap that unfortunately they get taken into is they go into a part-time role or a job share role, so where there's 2 people, but they inadvertently end up working full-time hours for a part-time salary. So that actually does happen. We also don't have a long maternity leave. The average government handout is only 3 months, unless you're employed in some other organisation that has a larger maternity plan. So after that, the only option is either home, we also don't have home help. So there's no in-house sort of help. So basically you need someone in your family to look after your child, or childcare. Childcare in Australia is very expensive. So again, unless you are earning a good income, sometimes it's actually cheaper for you to stay at home than go back into the workforce due to the cost of childcare. So, you know, we do have some infrastructure and some flexibility around that. I employ a few mothers and I love it because it's flexible and it works for them and it works for me. But I want to just go back a step and look at 2 really important concepts here that I think we're missing. One is value. That woman was as valuable to that company before and after she gave birth. So I don't know where it is in business or in our communities that we think that all of a sudden that woman doesn't know as much now because she's had a child, whereas 9 months ago she was very valuable. So I think in business and in the community we need to remember that you don't have a child and then you're stupid. You're still very smart women, and I think we miss that point sometimes. We get labelled with this mother concept, this nurturing, and then all of a sudden we can't be a powerful, assertive, decisive businesswoman. So I think we need to have that discussion. We also need to have the discussion of role. There are roles within organisations, and providing you can successfully take up the behaviours and the requirements to serve that role and be effective in that organisation, it doesn't matter who you are, what colour you are, whether you've had 1 or 6 children, you can be successful in that role. So I think we need to be coming back to those conversations around value and role, both in our businesses and in the broader community, to do with mothers returning to work.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing. And I can speak about Germany, since I'm from Germany, that yes, we are facing the same problems, that women who re-entry the workforce get sometimes paid less have different conditions. They are not so in the pipelines for leadership positions. And we were discussed with Nabila, we were discussing just the example of Kuwait seems to be very encouraging in terms of this maternity leave.
Yes, الحمد لله احنا بدولة الكويت يعني احنا دائما عندنا مثل او يعني كلمة نقولها ككويتيين، احنا دائما تحلطم على حكومتنا مثل ما قال اليوم دكتور سعد، دائما عندنا التحلطم والتحلطم يمكن باللهجات الأخرى العربية يعني دائما بنزن على حكومتنا، ولكن في إيجابية كبيرة فيما يخص المرأة العاملة بالكويت، وخاصة فيما يسمى إجازة الأمومة، حيث أن إجازة يعني تمنح المرأة الكويتية لتعمل في القطاع الحكومي إجازة لمدة 4 سنوات. هي أول سنة مدفوعة الأجر براتب كامل، ثاني سنة يدفع لها نصف الراتب، وثالث سنة ربع الراتب، ورابع سنة ربع الراتب. يحق لها في هذه ال4 سنوات أن يعني تبقى مع أولادها. والمشاهد أن الكل ما يستخدم ال4 سنوات حقيقة، لأن الحمد لله أيضا من الجانب الآخر في ظروف المعيشية المتوفرة المربية أو والأسرة، يعني أغلب البنات أو الزوجات صغيرات السن أغلبهم يعيشون مع أسر أزواجهم في بداية الحياة الزوجية أو تكون قريبة من أسرتها، فهناك كثير من يقوم بواجب الرعاية. ولكن أيضا يعني هذا الأمر الجميل من الدولة بأنها ترعى الأم ويعني تعطيها الفرصة بأنها تترك العمل وترعى أبنائها، حقيقة هذا أيضا من الأشياء المهمة.
Thank you so much. Perhaps Chancellor Merkel does listen to you to change some of the frameworks, legal ones in Germany. By the way, according to a study of the OECD, women spend less leisure time compared to men. Can you guess, perhaps also in the hall, how much do women spend leisure time on a daily average, according to that study? Just guess. Apparently it's not very much. So if we speak about the differences, in Norway it's 8 minutes less than men, which is okay. In Italy it's 80 minutes less. And 80 minutes a day is more than an hour. So in order to refill the energy, the battery, we spoke a lot about balancing also in terms of how to get the energy back, in terms of networking, in terms of further education, taking on capacity building and so on. How, and you were tackling the issue of time management, because I think the huge challenges lie in time management. The day has 24 hours, 12, and if we just reduce it, it's perhaps 8 hours. So what is your strategy to take the maximum out of your time and also to refill your batteries?
حقيقة وعيت لهذا الجانب مبكر جدا. في بداية حياتي وأولادي صغار طبعا يعني أعطيت نفسي الليجر يكون مع أولادي، يعني نوع من الفرصة أو الإجازة دائما تكون الفرحة ولا الوناسة ولا التسلية تكون جانب مع الأولاد، مع الأسرة، يعني مع الزوج والأولاد أو مع الأهل. ولكن بعد ما بدأوا يعني يعون ويكبرون أنا بديت أخذ إجازة من الأسرة ومن كل الحياة العائلية، وهاي بديتها بدري، يعني بديتها بحياتي وأخذت يعني عهد على نفسي أني لا أتركها. وإلى اليوم من عملي ومن الالتزامات الاجتماعية الضاغطة ومن الظروف اللي احنا نعيشها دائما، أنا دائما أخذ تقريبا كل 3 شهور أخذ تقريبا أسبوعين أو أسبوع أو 10 أيام أخذ إجازة. فهذه الإجازة يعني حطيتها مثل ما أنا أبذل مجهود في احترامي لأسرتي وأعطائهم الوقت، أيضا أعطاء العمل المستمر، هذه أيضا جزء كبير. فلذلك أنا أقول لا تقولي لا، قولي لا عند الحاجة أن تقولي لا، وقولي نعم لنفسك عند الحاجة أن تقولي نعم. فهذه البداية الحقيقية، لأن تضعي لنفسك استراتيجية وتطبقيها، لأن لا الحياة الاجتماعية راح تنتهي ولا العمل راح ينتهي ولا أي شيء راح ينتهي إذا أنت حابة تكملين في هذا المسار. فلذلك التوقف قليلا يعطيك شحنة وزيادة في الطاقة في العودة إلى العمل وإلى الحياة الاجتماعية مرة أخرى. فلذلك أنا أقول إن كل إنسان عنده استراتيجيته، وكل مرحلة بالعمر مرحلة من مراحل عمرنا. يعني في بداية حياتي الأولاد الصغار لا يمكن أن أخذ إجازة أسبوعين وأسيب أولادي وأترك أولادي في البيت وأروح أنا أتفسح طبعا، ولكن أخذ يومين ثلاثة ممكن. بعدها بدأت تمتد هذه المرحلة إلى 3-4 أيام، لكن لا تبخسي حق نفسك. وهذه قلتها في البداية وراح أقولها الآن وأقولها في نهاية هذا اللقاء. أنت من تعطين نفسك قيمة، أنت من تضعين برنامج زمني لحياتك، برنامج زمني لكل الجدول الأجندة في حياتك أنت تضعينها. لا تنطرين أحد أو تنتظري من أحد أنه يضع لك شيء على صينية من فضة مثل ما يقولون. أنت راح تعطين نفسك هذه الخطوات. وهذا ما قمت فيه دائما في عملية استغلال وقت الراحة. أنا أروح الهند أخذ مثل ما أخذنا مع اليوم سوداغوري، أنا أروح Art of Living، أنا أحضر دورات في كل مكان في العالم. رحت النمسا، رحت ألمانيا، رحت في كل مكان في العالم أخذ دورات. هذه الدورات غيرت من حياتي حقيقة. هذا نوع من الليجر بالنسبة لي الآن. أنا على فكرة اللي يحب، أنا أجندة الآن عندي في كل سباز في العالم، أي واحد يبي يروح سبا عندي. شكرا لكم.
Thank you. So that was the advertising block for all the spas worldwide. But yes, I think it's important to also tackle this issue because we speak a lot about esteem, and this is part of it. Take time for yourself also to recreate your batteries or recreate yourself. Given the fact that we are running out of time, and I was asked to slowly come to an end, perhaps I would like to ask my ladies to give a short, let's say, wrap-up, since it's the final session of the whole conference. What do you take from the conference? Which new insights? What were the visions, the ideas that perhaps inspired you the most? And I would like to start with Karen. What do you take from the whole 2 days?
The power of human connection. To be in this environment and not know anybody, and to walk away with the connections that I have and that real heart, like you've met someone and they're going to be in your life forever. And I think in business and in life and in friendships and in family, that is all we have. Actually, that is all we have, is the human connection between one person and another that can inspire and lead and connect across difference, across cultures, across countries. Human connection is all we have. And that is what I'll walk away from, the absolute lived experience of feeling that come to life in me so humbly, so beautifully, and so purposefully. And I thank you all for being a part of that.
For me, being my first time in the Arab countries, has been a big surprise to see that we are not so different. You are not so different here from us in the Mediterranean countries. I come from Spain, it's a southern European country, and I feel that the character and the way of feeling is very similar. Regarding women, I see that you have a great opportunity here to avoid the errors that we committed, as I mentioned before. And I would like to leave you with a couple of last remarks in relation to what you said, and in relation with the best things to balance life and work. I think it's very important to implement the co-responsibility in the house, quoting this American lady that said, "What's the best thing that your husband can do to support your career?" She said, "The laundry." So, I mean, it's the family, it's a question of two people. We have both responsibility in being able to develop our family life and our career without being frustrated. And for that, we also, women, have a responsibility in not being so perfectionist and so controlling people. Let the people in the family do their things their way, because sometimes It's our problem wanting to have everything done our way. And my last remark is, we have to do it ourselves. Nobody is going to do it for us. So I would like to quote Groucho Marx when he said, Madame, I will leave you my chair. It was not because I'm sitting in it. So to take the top positions, the decision-making position, we have to work ourselves for that.
Thank you very much for the final statement, Dr. Ludi.
I feel very blessed to have been here in this beautiful Qatar. Each one of you have meant a lot to me. I made so many wonderful friends. I feel embraced by God here, shortly. And I tell you, getting myself this wonderful experience from this conference, I feel that each one of us should help one another to progress and advance as business leaders in the community. And we need to continue helping our young girls to transform their lives and transform the world. Thank you.
As a Qatari woman, I really do feel honored and proud to be here in a conference with women from all over the world who've gathered to discuss and have a platform on very robust discussions on points that are very relevant to us all today. And really just to see women who have worked very hard to excel in their fields and set goals and achieve them. And I think that there's momentum for women in the workforce, and this is one of the first steps of many in making the change. Thank you.
أنا في هذا المؤتمر وغيره من المؤتمرات دائما أخرج منه بشغلتين. أخرج منه بالفخر حقيقة بكم النساء القويات المتحفزات الطموحات والخوف من أن يتسربن مع هذه المجاميع بعد فترة من السنوات ويقتلن طموحهم. يعني حقيقة هذا الخوف أعيشه لأن أنا أبي يزيد هذا العدد، وهذا الطموح دائما أحب أنه يكبر، وأحب أكون يعني دائما أعطي السبورت لكل امرأة أن استمري وتأكدي أنك أنت راح توصلين. النقطة الثانية في هذا الملتقى، وهي ثالث سنة أنا أجي، وحقيقة كل مرة أجد النجاح في التنظيم، في العدد الأكبر من الحضور. أنا حتى قلت حق الأخت عايشة ويمكن راح تنطلق من هذا الملتقى شغلة كثير حلوة، ويمكن هي نوع من المنصة اللي ذكروها الأخوان، وقاعدين نشتغل عليها إن شاء الله مع أخت أخرى من فلسطين، مع الأخت العزيزة أيضا هيفاء الكيلاني، ومع مجموعة من النساء في أن نطلق منصة في دعم وتسهيل مهام كثير من النساء، وإن شاء الله لأن في مصادر تمويل كثيرة في منطقتنا، وخصوصا عندنا بالكويت صندوق العربي للتنمية، وهو مستعد في مثل هذه الأمور. وأعتقد أن حان الآن أن نطبق ما نحضر له في هذه المؤتمرات، ما نسمعه، ما نتحدث عنه، فيجب أن يعني يجد طريق إلى حيز التنفيذ. وإن شاء الله في السنة القادمة، وأنا أيضا بنظم أحد الملتقيات للنسائية الخليجية، فإحنا هذه الجهود حتى لا تتبعثر نحتاج أن نجمعها، فإن شاء الله نكون نشتغل في هذا الموضوع، والسنة الجاية يمكن يكون باكورة إنتاج مثل هذا. شكرا. في فيلم صغير، تفضل.
Thank you so much. There's a small film you wanted to share with us. Can we perhaps see the shortcut?
هذا الفيلم أنا بس طلعت لكم مدته دقيقة. هاي النائبة ليسيا رونزولي إيطالية، وهي نائبة في المجلس في البرلمان الأوروبي. طفلتها اسمها فيكتوريا، هي أصرت أن تحدث تغيير، وهذا نوع من التغيير وتقبلها الكل. فإحنا علينا أن نغير، يعني المرأة لا تنتظر من الآخرين أنها يغيرونها، لا هي تغير وراح يعيش الجو. يعني مثل الحجرة اللي ترمينها في البحيرة راح تعمل صدى وتغير، فهي حدثت هذا التغيير، وأحب أنكم تشاركوني في مثل هذا الفيلم.
Isn't that an inspiring idea? So I think you've been so patient for such a long time, and I think you want perhaps to take the chance to Q&A to raise your questions, to give your comments. We have another 15 minutes allocated for you. Thank you so much for joining us now. And please, if you have a question, just raise your hand. There's one over there. Can we have a mic, please?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Mariama Silla. I'm coming from Guinea, and I would like to thank you all for being here today and sharing your experiences. Thanks to Mrs. Aisha Al-Fardan and the organizing team. This was a wonderful 2 days. My question concerns mentorship, but male to female mentorship. We have been hearing a lot about female mentorship here, and another aspect of mentorship, which is very important, is male to female, because as we discussed here, most top positions are held by male, and mentorship and coaching is even more important when you want to get to the top. However, often it's a little bit more tedious to have male to female mentorship, strong relationships compared to male to male. There may be a lot of examples, like inappropriate times to see each other, people talking, and some challenges. I wanted you to share your experience as to male and female mentorship in your life, and how do you think we can break those barriers and make it as natural as male to male, because if women want to be on the top, we need to compose with men and be able to have mentors as men as well, same as women, of course.
Sir, Dr. Ludi.
I would like to share a little bit about my experience where I have a company called Woman Power Incorporated, and that's basically what we do. The company is a human resources consulting firm, and we provide executive coaching for women to move into the management level, as well as to move into corporate boards and commissions. And one of the criteria in my company is choose males who have been in those experiences, who have been like presidents of companies, CEO, or directors, who can be even active to help these women move forward. In our particular experience, and we have been in existence for the past 6 years, we have been very successful in the way they have been mentored. I mean, they have really, the women, they have obtained the tools and the skills and the necessary things for them being placed on boards, as well as local commissions. And not only that, but we have been successfully obtained women move from just junior positions to senior positions, and have them, these men, for about 2 years with them to follow through the program and to see how far they can go and how effectively they can perform. So in our particular experience in the United States, where we perform our duties and practices, it has been very successful.
Over there. Over there.
Thank you very much for all the personal experiences that you have all given to us. I think this is wonderful. But I'm just thinking that we were fortunate here to listen to you people and know all the difficulties that you people went through, and you have come out successfully. I just have a suggestion. It would be nice that if we collect all the experiences of all the women who have gone through such a horrible time and still stood and come up in life, if we could write a book and get all this together, so that people who are not fortunate to come to these meetings or meet you or know you personally, that they will have a chance to read and get courage from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just wanted to
Let's
say
move
that
to the next lady, or
no,
would
I
you
wanted
just
to ask the lady just to tell her that I am in the process of doing so.
You are.
Yeah.
So you will want others to contribute?
Sorry?
Would you like others to contribute some of their experiences and add to that book?
I am working with the stories I already have, but if you can provide some, I'll be gladly adding them to the book.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I just add one more thing on that? I think also have the conversations in your local community, because often what we don't talk about is the hard times. We celebrate the success, and that is great, but we need to give ourselves permission to fail. In failing, we get closer to what we want to really be doing, and we learn the lessons. And I don't think we talk about that enough, that it is difficult and there are challenges and we haven't got it right or that didn't work, and make that a really positive experience rather than a negative one.
Thank you very much. The lady over there.
Thank you very much. I'm Nomvula Makhotlo from South Africa. And I want to say to the organizers of this event, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity. We are attending this forum for the first time as South Africa, and we brought with us a strong delegation of 20 women entrepreneurs. And we want to say we really benefited from the presentations and the experiences of the Arab women. I want to also indicate that as South Africa, we came here because of our experience in organizing the 2010 World Cup. And I think all of us are aware that Qatar will be hosting the 2022 World Cup. So we will be walking this journey with Qatar leading to 2022. And I would appreciate it if the organizers would invite the organizing committee of 2022 so that we know how women would benefit in the process leading to the event. But another thing is that I want to challenge all of us, Dr. Gabi, in this conference that we have a calamity in Philippines. And I think as a conference, as a forum, it would be an indictment if we don't come up with a strong statement to say how much we support the community of the Philippines. And I would really urge us to take a moment of silence on that regard.
Thank you so much for your very important statement. And I think, yes, our prayers and thoughts should go to our sisters and brothers out there, of course. One final comment over there, the lady sitting in the back. Lachwe? Okay. So the lady and then the final, and we have to come to an end.
دكتورة منى المحاقري، مجلس سيدات العمل اليمنيات. مداخلتي مع الأستاذة نبيلة، أنا يعني أؤكد وأنا قادمة من اليمن، واليمن اليوم تمر بمرحلة انتقالية هامة على أهمية الاهتمام والعناية بالقوانين التي تنظم حقوق المرأة في العمل. نحن في اليمن مدركات تماما لأهمية هذه المرحلة، مرحلة تغيير الدستور، ونحن على وعي بأهمية أن نعزز دور المرأة اليمنية من خلال القوانين. نحن في الفترة القادمة سنضع دستور جديد لليمن، وهنا يعني نتطلع بالفعل أن القوانين الجديدة تنظم عمل المرأة وأجازة المرأة وتنظم أجور وساعات العمل. فيعني أيضا أمام النساء العربيات في الدول التي مرت بعملية التغيير هذه الفرصة الذهبية التي لن تتكرر مرة أخرى، فنتمنى جميعا أن ننتهز هذه الفرصة الحقيقية للتغيير. وهذا الملتقى يعقد تحت هذا الشعار، وهو أن النساء العربيات هن رائدات التغيير. شكرا لكم على هذا المؤتمر الرائع والجميل والذي أفدنا منه جدا باسمي وباسم مجلس سيدات الأعمال اليمنيات وباسم كل نساء اليمن. التقينا مع هذه التجارب المميزة والتي فعلا اقتربنا فيها أكثر من بعض، وتغيرت الصورة النمطية لدى كل منا عن الآخر. كنا نعتقد أن المرأة الغربية مثلا، لدينا نحن أيضا العرب صورة نمطية للمرأة الغربية أنها لا تعاني من مشكلات، أن كل الأمور ربما ميسرة أمامها. نعتقد فقط أن ثقافتنا العربية هي التي تقف أمامنا، ولكننا اكتشفنا اليوم من خلال هذه التجارب أننا متشابهون أكثر مما نحن مختلفين. وشكرا لكم.
شكرا جزيلا يا أخت العزيزة. One final question or statement, please.
Firstly, I would like to thank Madame Al-Fardan for the very special event we had here today, and all the colleagues we met. Actually, I want to comment about mentoring. It is really, really important. When I started my business life, I got mentoring, and my mentor was my mother, who's a businesswoman, and she is the third generation of businesswomen. So she told me 5 things to match between family and business and to go along. And I want to share those 5 things with you. The first one is forgiveness. The doctor, she said, don't ask for perfection. Don't ask for everything to be perfect, and have a very huge space for forgiving people, because you want to move on. You don't have time for fights and cross fights and small stuff. So just to sweat the small stuff. And the second thing is give your children quality of time. You are not able to give them a lot of quantity of time, so just give them a lot of quality of the time. When we are with them, try to swim with them, play with them, get involved in their life, so that they know when mom is here, she is really here for us. And the third thing is always try to be very generous with people, because in our communities, I'm coming from Sudan, when you are very generous, people around you, they will appreciate what you are doing. I'm not just earning money and stacking it in the bank. I'm earning it and I'm trying to share it with everybody in a lot of ways. And we have a hadith that says, tahadu, tahabu, yani make gifts to people. People will eventually like you a little bit more. And one of the very good advices I had is, with your spouse or with your husband, always try to make the success you make something that you share with him. You always, it's not I'm successful and don't compete. Always try to make the success you make something that you want to share with your family, with your children, with your husband, and with your local community, and that will make things easier for you. And the fifth thing, that in the work environment, always be lighter, to be pushed forward. Be nice to everybody. Be the somebody who's very nice and who's very light, that yes, you can go up the ladder. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this excellent 5-point final statement. Perhaps you can include it in your book, I think. Yes, please.
أنا بس حابة أضيف شيء بالنسبة للأخت اللي قالت أو ابنتي الأخيرة اللي ذكرت المعلومات. أنا عملت نفس الشيء مع ابنتي تخرجت عندها ماجستير وكانت تعمل في أحد البنوك، ولكن عندما أنجبت أنا حبيت أنها تعتني بابنها، وأنا أيضا لا أريد أنها تقعد في البيت ولا تستغل شهادتها، ولا أريدها أنها تكون بس ربة بيت. فإحنا أسسنا شركة جديدة وخليناها هي المديرة. أول حطيناها معنا بالشركة موظفة صغيرة حالها حال الموظفين ولكن بدون راتب. قلت لها لأن أنت راح تدخلين على كيفك تطلعين على كيفك، فما لك أي مبلغ أنت المفروض تدفعين لنا علشان إحنا قاعدين ندربج. ولذلك هي تدخل ونستفيد منها ولكن بدون مرتب، ولكن حتى لا تشعر بالملل وتشعر أنها يعني عضو غير فعال في المجتمع. الآن هي ستقوم معنا في شركة جديدة راح تكون من الألف إلى الياء، وأعطيتها نفس التعليمات اللي والدتك أعطتك إياها، بحيث أنها تكون فعلا مع ابنها، لأن عندها ابن وخلتني أنا أسعد جدة في العالم. وأيضا يعني أعطتني هذا الحب، فأنا أعطيها الحب كذلك، ونعطي كل من المحيط من الأهل والأقرباء والصديقات نعطيهم نفس هذه المعرفة اللي احنا الآن موجودة عندنا، ونخليهم أيضا يشقون طريقهم وهم مرتاحين. شكرا.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm indebted to our wonderful guest speakers today with the last session. And I think we can all agree that it's only in partnership between men and women that we can raise and educate the next generation, paving the way for healthy environment and also our children. And it's our responsibility regardless of gender. I want to close the session by quoting Margaret Thatcher. She once said, "If you want anything to be said, ask a man. If you want anything to be done, guess who you ask?" Ask a woman, but of course in partnership. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us. It was a pleasure being here, and all the very best. Shukran.
مرحبا جميعا. سوري عم نطول عليكم، بس هلا بدنا نبلش الجلسة الختامية. قبل ما أطلب من السيدة عائشة الفردان تتوجه على المنصة، بدي أطلب من الوفد اليمني المترأس بدكتور فوزية ناشر رئيس مجلس سيدات الأعمال اليمنيات تتفضل على المسرح مع الوفد لحتى يكرموا السيدة عائشة الفردان. تفضلوا. السيدة عائشة بطلب منك بليز تتفضلي على المنصة. Ladies, we're gonna end up our night with the closing ceremony. Mrs. Aisha Al-Fardan will close the event by giving a small speech. And after that, we're gonna have a photo. هلا بطلب منكم بليز الجلوس لنسمع كلمة السيدة عائشة الفردان، الكلمة الختامية للمؤتمر، ومن بعدها رح ناخذ صورة جماعية للي بحب يبقى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحضور الكرام، لو سمحتوا، أنا عارفة طبعاً اليومين اللي مروا عليكم سمعتوا كثير وتعبتوا من الكلام والنقاش، علشان كذي أنا كاتبة بصراحة عندي كلمة ختامية ولكني ما راح أقراها. بقول لكم صراحة اللي أنا حاسة فيه بالمختصر المفيد. طبعا في البداية أحب أبدأ طبعا الختام بكلمة السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اليومين اللي مروا علينا مروا طوال وقصار في نفس الوقت. طوال بعدد الكبير من سيدات الأعمال من 39 دولة. تناقشنا وتكلمنا وتعلمنا بصراحة اللي ما تعلمناه في سنة كاملة، لكن في نفس الوقت نحسهم قصار جدا لأنهم انتهوا بلمح البصر، لكنهم كأنهم حلم جميل جدا يجمعنا سنويا معاكم. أحب أشكر الحضور على حضورهم، المشاركين على مشاركتهم الفعالة معنا في هاليومين. أحب أشكر المنظمين انتراكتيف، رائد، ما قصرتوا. أحب أشكر صراحة الجميع، رابطة سيدات الأعمال اللي كانوا سند، خواتي ما قصرتوا، كنتوا إيدي اليمنى، كلكم اشتغلتوا وما قصرتوا. الرعاة اللي آمنوا فينا وعطونا صراحة من كل حب وتقدير. أحب أشكر شكر خاص الدينامو تبع رابطة سيدات الأعمال، جسكالة خلايلي، يا ريت تحية لجسكالة. شكر خاص إلى مصورنا العزيز بني اللي دائما يهاوشنا عشان تطلع صورنا أحلى صور. بني صراحة أيام انتهت بسرعة وبلمح البصر مثل ما قلنا. مختصر أو ملخص المؤتمر مع الصور راح توصل للجميع بالإيميل إن شاء الله. كلمة قالتها أختي العزيزة الغالية نبيلة العنجري عن الابتسامة، أن نبدأ بابتسامة وندخل بابتسامة ونطلع بابتسامة. فمثل ما رحبنا فيكم في البداية بابتسامة، احنا نودعكم بابتسامة حب وتقدير للجميع. ولن أقول وداعا، ولكن إلى لقاء قريب إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صورة جماعية للجميع لو سمحتوا فوق الستيج. بيطيح فوق وتحت.